guys, I'm Steph. Thank you so much for checking out my channel today. I'm sure you saw from that thumbnail that we have a lot of empties to get through. At the beginning of the year, I set myself a goal of 400 empties, which like even after my first empties video, I was like, that is utterly ridiculous, and I don't know how I ever thought that was an obtainable goal. That is more than one empty a day. Like I don't even know. And because I had such a high empties goal, I ended up putting in things like tea and spices and markers and just pens and just like randomness. And I'm going to share the rest of the empties that I have collected with you today, and I'm going to have my little count going over here and tell you the total number of empties that I did finish. That being said, if you enjoy empties videos, then I hope you consider subscribing, because this year I maybe did like one every like 3-4 months, and they ended up being huge, and it's a lot. So I'm going to be doing more regular videos, so like empties every month. So if you enjoy empties, then you're going to see 12 in 2020, so then make sure you subscribe. So I'm going to quickly be running down everything, and hopefully quick is the right word because there's a lot of stuff to get through. I'm just going to be letting you know what I repurchased or what I not, and quick little reviews here and there. So starting off with probably my most random stuff, I finished a whole spice, which I feel like is so rare. This is paprika, and I finished a whole container. And like, I don't know about you, but like I never go through spices. I was very happy with that. I love cooking with paprika, and I will continue to repurchase. Next, I have a lot of tea. I really love tea. To quickly go through these with you. This first one here is Telly Earl Grey Vanilla. We already have repurchased. I love this. It's one of my favorites. Then we have just Twinings regular Earl Grey. It's fine, but I prefer the vanilla one, so I'd probably rather have that, but I kind of like having both of them. President's Choice Chocolate Chai is one of my favorites. I tried not to repurchase it because I have like so many other teas going on, but this is something I love having in my collection. And then President's Choice Ginger Peach is like my sicky time tea, which is what I call it, like whenever I feel like stomach issues, because it has ginger. It's very calming. Whenever I'm like stiffly and stuff, just like it just makes me feel better. So I only drink this when I'm sick. When I'm not sick, I don't actually enjoy the taste of it, but when I'm sick, it is like the perfect thing to have. So always have something like this on hand. Continuing with some random things, I have 2 more highlighters. Just so you know that Crayola does do a recycling program, so if you send them like plasticky type markers, like this type of thing, they have a program to recycle them, in case you were not aware. I also have a few little candles here. So this first one is from IKEA. This is their Sinling. I don't know how to say that. I don't even think you can read that. It was like an orangey type candle. It was really nice. I think it was like leftover from a friend. Not sure it's something I would go out and repurchase, but it was nice to have. I have one little tea light. I bought like a pack of 100, slowly burning through them. It's kind of nice to have every now and then. And then I got this from the grocery store. It was a Havana Guava daiquiri, and this is how it burned down. It was fine, nothing special, wouldn't repurchase. Moving into hair care, I just finished a bunch of my favorite items, so I'm excited to share those with you. First thing I have here is from VO5. This is the Gimme Texture Dry Texturizing Spray. You might remember this from a Hashtag Roulette Pan collab, an earlier edition of that, and I really enjoy this. I love the volume and texture that it gives to my hair. I thought it was like really nice. I thoroughly enjoyed using it. I cannot find this brand in Canada, unfortunately, but this gave me a new appreciation for texturizing sprays. Also from that same brand, VO5, I have the Heat Protectant Spray, and I really love using a heat spray, whether it's because I'm going to be blow drying my hair or straightening it, or very rarely curling it. I really enjoy having some type of spray that I think is going to protect my hair, and I thought this one did a great job. Batiste dry shampoo. I have a lot of dry shampoos, and Batiste is like a tried and true favorite. I really enjoy coming back to it. And yeah, I have one more I think in my stash, the classic one, and then I think I have like a rose gold one. Anyways, Batiste is definitely a dry shampoo I will continue to repurchase. It is a bit more expensive than other items at the drugstore, but I think it does a fantastic job. Speaking of dry shampoos, I do have this little one from Dry Bar. It's a detox dry shampoo. I think I got this as like a free gift with purchase because I would never really buy things like this. It smells really incredible. Just like, it's nice. But I felt like I was trying to not use a lot of it because I know it is a more expensive product. I feel like I definitely didn't need as much with this as I do with some of my drugstore ones, so that is great. But I also feel like I probably should have used more than I did because I was trying to like prolong it, and just for the price of it, I think it's just a dry shampoo. I can't really see myself repurchasing it. Ooh, I love this. This is the Briogeo Scalp Revival Charcoal and Coconut Oil Micro Exfoliating Shampoo, and I completely cleared this out. There's like, I just rinsed it out, so there's some remnants in there. This does such an amazing job. Like, I struggle with like dandruff, dry flakies on my hair. This alone is not enough. They have like a oil type thing that goes with this from the same line, and together I think it does such an amazing job. I'm really sad I finished this up. I kind of wanted to pick up a kit they had for the holidays, but by the time I got around to figuring out that like, okay, I'm ready to purchase it, the kit was already gone. So that kind of shows me that this is like a favorite by a lot of people. I think it does such an amazing job. And oh, I miss my purple hair so much. This is the Manic Panic semi-permanent hair color, and this one is in the shade Ultraviolet. And I did a lot of things with this. So this actually lasted me quite a while. Sometimes I would mix it into my shampoo when I was just blonde. So in order to keep that brightness and kind of using it as a toning shampoo, I use this to dye my hair quite a lot. It's definitely very vibrant, so I usually mix it in with conditioner to kind of give it more of a pastel type of shade. I did a whole video dyeing my hair pastel purple using this, so I'll link that down below in case you're interested. But I learned a lot from that since filming that video, and I just think this is like such an amazing job. When I did my hair more purple like back in August, I used this like more at the roots, more concentrated, and then kind of like diluted it towards the end, so I kind of had more of an ombre effect. I love this. I thought it did such a good job. It lasted so much longer than I thought. Currently not really in the blonde or purple hair stage, unfortunately, so I'm happy that I was able to use this up. And I highly would recommend, definitely would repurchase if I was going purple again. And I mean, I personally love purple, so, but I feel like all of their shades are probably really good. I know Manic Panic is definitely like a tried and true brand by many people. And last for hair care, I have these two little minis. It's just a shampoo and conditioner. They're Bath & Body Works White Citrus. I got them for staying at a hotel. They did a fine job, not my favorite, but I have them, so trying to use little things like this up as well. Moving on to body care, I do have 3 body washes, which is pretty rare for me. 2 of them are from Brompton and Langley. It was just a gift that I got a few years ago now, and I finally finished them all up. So I was using the Lavender Vanilla as well as the Sweet Pea and Jasmine. These don't really get that sudsy. I like a body wash that gets sudsy. These just don't do it. I had it as a gift, and I'm so happy I was able to finish up that whole gift pack. I think there was 5 or 6 in there, but not something I would repurchase. And this last little body wash I finished up is the Mango Shower Gel from the Body Shop. And I really enjoy the Body Shop shower gels. I feel like you need such a small amount. They get so sudsy, so a little bit goes a long way. So even just a little thing like this can last a very long time. So I'm happy to have used this up, and I have quite a few more Body Shop ones I've gotten as gifts over the past few years. Like, I have not bought body wash in like years, like maybe 2-3 years, and I don't see myself buying any for like 2-3 years more because I just have such a backlog, especially the Body Shop ones. Like I said, they last such a long time. Highly recommend these ones. Speaking of body wash, I apply my body wash with a loofah. I probably don't replace them as often as I should, maybe like once or twice a year, but I just got a new one for the holidays, so it's a perfect time to get rid of this one and start using my new one. And speaking of types of those things to replace, I also have an exfoliating glove. This one looks pretty dirty because the like exfoliator I use is like a brown sugary type one, so it gets all over the glove. But I really like having an exfoliating glove. I think it does such a good job rather than just using exfoliating type product. I feel like having the glove really helps get exfoliate. Enjoy this, have another one, we'll continue to use those as well. And after showering, I love to go in with a body lotion, so I have 2 here. This first one is a Bath & Body Works body lotion in coconut lime verbena, but this was just one from a hotel I stayed at, and I don't think it's as good as the actual Bath & Body Works lotions, but I was able to finish that up, which is great. And the last one I just finished up was the Satsuma Body Sorbet. I don't love the body sorbets from the Body Shop. I find them to be quite sticky. It takes them a while to dry down, so really not my favorite formula for like body lotion, cream, that type of thing. So I personally wouldn't repurchase the sorbets, but they do feel quite hydrating, and it definitely lasts on your skin, so I can see it appealing to some people, but I just feel like in the winter you're putting this on and then you're putting on like pants and long sleeve shirts. It's just too much. Maybe in the summer I appreciated it a bit more, but not my personal favorite formula. We actually went through quite a few bar soaps, which is really exciting. I personally hate bar soap, but we had quite a few of them, and I was like, you know what, let's just start working through these, and then we can go back to using like soap in a pump, which I much prefer. So I'm really happy to say that we finished up 3 more. The first one we finished up was from the Body Shop. This was the Moringa scent. It was really, really nice. I got a lot of compliments on it. It was very pleasant. Then I had one from a hotel. This was just a face and body soap bar one, so that was quick to go. And last we just finished up one from Lush, just to keep the packaging to show you, but it was a rose one. It was nice. I mean, like I said, I'm not a fan of bar soap, but I'm happy that we're actually working through what we have. It's something I realized we don't like, so we're kind of just trying to finish up all the ones we have, and we're conscious not to buy any more. Honestly, I don't buy bar soap in general. All those things were either gifts or like taken from hotels. Yeah, happy to kind of have that collection almost down to nothing. We did finish up one toothpaste. This is the Colgate Max Fresh whitening one. I really enjoy this, but for some reason Josh went and bought a toothpaste and he didn't buy this one because it wasn't on sale. I was like, I don't care if it's not on sale. This one is the best one. But yeah, really like this. Would repurchase. Have to remember that this is the one I like. I always go to the store and I can't remember which toothpaste is the one I enjoy. But purple is my favorite color, so I feel like I'll remember it now. Sometimes I can't remember if it's Colgate or Crest. When you're there, they kind of all look the same. Anyways, yeah, so I enjoyed this toothpaste. And I took a bath, and from Bath & Body Works, I have a Bath Fizzy in Lavender Sugar. It came in this. And I don't know if it's just because it was old. I didn't feel like it was super duper fizzy. I don't think bath bombs are really my thing. I feel like I'll use up what I have, but I think I much prefer bubble baths. So I think bath bombs are going to be something that I no longer purchase. But if I got them as a gift, like, thoroughly would enjoy. But I kind of have realized, like, I never loved the effect of them. I don't know if it's because I get them and they're old, or if I get them and I hold on to them too long. But I've realized, like, they're not what I need to make a bath experience amazing. I would much prefer bubble bath. And here I have quite a few hand creams. So starting with this one, this is from Crabtree and Evelyn. This is the pomegranate, it's argan grapeseed, and it's a hand primer. So this is really interesting because it does not make your hands sticky or kind of oily at all. I personally don't have an issue. I kind of focus like on the back of my hands when I put on lotion, but I like rub like this so my fingers don't get oily, but I know for some people that's an issue. So that's originally why we picked this up, because Josh has like such an issue with like oily, greasy hands, but his hands got quite dry in the winter. So I thought this would be a really great way to kind of give back that moisture without getting that greasy, oily feeling. However, he still would not use it. So I ended up using it up. I really enjoyed it. I found like I would do this, and then sometimes I would put a cream over top to give like extra hydration. So if you're someone who has an issue with like the oiliness, I think this could be a great product. However, for me personally, I feel like I much prefer a traditional cream. I just feel like that gives a lot more moisture to the skin. So speaking of traditional creams, I have 3 hand creams I just finished up, and they're all from L'Occitane. This first hand cream is their Pavillon Flora. It looks small, but it's like 75 mils. I really used every last ounce of it. I wouldn't say this is my favorite formula from them or my favorite scent really, but I got a gift set. I was happy to get that. It was really exciting. I would say I much prefer this formula here. This one is their shea butter ones. So I have 2 little ones here. I completely like cut them open. I love them so much. And I just feel like they're a lot thicker, but I feel like they're so much more hydrating to the skin. Whereas these, they're so fragrant, and I don't know what the ingredients are. It almost feels like it could have alcohol in it. I think it does have shea butter, but not as much as these ones. These just feel like more creamy and liquidy. These ones are a bit like thicker consistency. Can't think of a better way to say that. This one was a really lovely scent. It was tea, so like completely cleared that out. So I definitely cut these ones open. I really enjoyed them. So this little one was 5% shea butter, and then this blue one was 20% shea butter, and the scent was, I don't think it had a scent specifically. It was just like their dry skin one. I got these little minis as gifts. Like I said, I really enjoy the shea butter one. I would pick that up again. I think it is so amazing. I like having little ones in my purses, but I've had these for so long. I really wanted to just like get them out of my collection, so I'm happy I was able to finish these up. So moving on to skincare before we finish with makeup, I'm going to quickly go through the samples I finished up. So from Clarins, this is the Ginseng Energy Booster. I actually really enjoyed this. I'm not quite sure what it really is supposed to do. I used it in the mornings, but I thought that it just really invigorated me in the morning. I felt like my skin really enjoyed it, and I thought it was an interesting product, so I would look into this a bit more. And they have other boosters, so I would be interested to check those out. This was the Ulla Henriksen Pure Truth Youth Activating Oil. It's supposed to renew youthful radiance with pure rose hip fruit oil. I love rose hip oil, but usually I just buy like pure rose hip oil from The Ordinary. I much prefer that. I feel like it does more for my skin than this. Then I had the Ulla Henriksen Invigorating Night Transformation Gel. This is something that I have used before in a sample. I really do enjoy this. I think it does a great job. Not something I feel the need to repurchase, but seeing that I had this as a sample was very exciting. This was an O for Vitamin C cream. I didn't really love it. For vitamin C, I really love the Truth Serum by Ulla Henriksen. I had this Glam Glow Super Mud Clearing Treatment. I really enjoyed this. It definitely feels like very detoxifying to the skin. I have oily, acne-prone skin, and I think this did such a great job. I have a few more samples of this, and I'm really happy about that. Next, I had the Tata Harper Resurfacing Serum Glow Giving Starter Serum. Honestly, this is like nothing special. I can barely remember, which kind of shows you that it wasn't anything amazing. So I have 2 of these Merlot Collection Moisture Day Cream. I do not know how to say that. So I have 2 of them. Someone passed me these little samples on the street. I really enjoyed them. I got them, the sample was handed to me when I was in London. I didn't try it until I came back here, and I kind of regret that because I feel like if I had tried this while I was there, I might have actually picked it up. I'd be interested in doing a bit more research on this company and find out if I can find them in Canada. I thought the moisturizer was like really, really nice. Ooh, I love this. This was the Dermalogical Multivitamin Power Firm. It's an eye cream. This was so nice. I definitely want to look into this to see the cost of it. I will highly consider purchasing this in the future. This one was interesting. This is the Boscia Subaki Oil Infused Exfoliating Powder. I might have said that so terribly wrong. And it's interesting. It's a powder. You add a little bit of water and then you use that. And then the more water you use, like obviously less concentrated, less water you use, more concentrated, and it has exfoliating properties. I really, really enjoy this. I have a few more samples of this. I'm really excited that I can continue to use this. This little package lasted me so long. Like, you really do not need a lot. It's really, really great. I'm so excited I get to continue to use this. And I just went away for the holidays, and right before that I dyed my hair. It's already coming out a little bit. I more so toned it than dyed it to see how brown I could go just through toning. And I wanted to keep the brown as long as possible. So I brought these with me. These are the Color Protecting John Frieda Brilliant Brunette shampoo and conditioner. I've used John Frieda, the Brilliant Brunette. I used to use it like all the time back in like junior high, high school. Like, this was my shampoo and conditioner, so it was really nice getting back to it. The conditioner leaves your hair so soft, so beautiful. I'm not sure how much it really did for color protecting. Like I said, I toned my hair, not dyed it, so every wash I did, it does look lighter and lighter, so I can't really fault the shampoo and conditioner for that. Like, they're not hair dye and I didn't dye my hair, but I really, really enjoy these and I'm happy I got to use them up, and it's very nostalgic for me. And the last of my one-use products, this was a Biore nose strip, a deep cleansing charcoal pore strip. I've heard that these can actually be very bad for you because, I don't know, I just heard that they're actually not as good as you think. They definitely used to be all the hype. Sometimes I feel just like around my nose is just very congested, and I don't use these all the time. Like, I have not maybe used like one or two others like this whole year, but I like having them on hand for those times where everything just feels like really congested and you just want to pull everything out. And maybe I need to do more research and I won't repurchase these in the future. I do have a few more on hand, but I really do like the effects that I get with this. So moving on to more of my deluxe size and full size samples for skincare. I'm not quite sure where to start trying to sort it, but it's kind of a little all over the place. But starting with sunscreen. So the first one I used up was this Juice Beauty Organic Solution. This is an SPF 30 oil-free moisturizer, and I really like that my moisturizer had SPF in it. SPF isn't, I know it's something that I should do, but it's not something I'm great at doing, plus some moisturizer, so I like that this was an SPF and moisturizer in one. I definitely feel like I did get those sun care properties. The only thing is, this can feel like a little thick and congesting. I know it's not supposed to, but I did feel like it was a bit thick for my skin at times, so I really enjoyed having a dual like moisturizer and SPF. But I think now that I've kind of gotten more into the routine of it, I feel like having a separate SPF is fine. Together, I just found that it was a bit too much for my skin. Next one I used up was from Drunk Elephant. This is the Umber Sheer Physical Daily Defense. I hate this sunscreen. It is so oily and greasy and white casting. I really, really, really dislike it. It took me so long to get through this. Like, I had it in projects because there was like markings on it and I still couldn't get through it like this. Not an enjoyable product for me. I used it like on my chest and shoulders to try to get rid of it. It lasted quite a long time. I don't know if it's because I was like I did not like this. I have the other one, their tinted one, and I much prefer that. Obviously it doesn't have the white cast issue, but I just feel like in general it just feels less oily and greasy on the skin, so I definitely would not pick this up again, but the tinted one I am enjoying for the moment. And the last little sunscreen I had is from Origins. This is a Perfect World SPF 40. This is Age Defense Moisturizer with white tea. So again, it's that moisturizer plus SPF combination, which I really enjoy. I thought this did a really great job. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Would consider like purchasing this in the future for my SPF moisturizer combination. I really liked it. So trying to group skincare items together, next we have eye creams. And this is the Origins Plant-Scription Anti-Aging Power Eye Cream. And I actually purchased this because I had used a sample of it earlier in the year, and I really, really, really enjoyed it, so much so that I did pick up the full size. And I just feel like the full size wasn't as good as the sample, which is so incredibly frustrating. So I think in the future, if I feel like I have a foil sample I really like, then I would still go into Sephora and get like a tester size sample. Like, usually they have like the product on hand and they'll put it into a little container for you, and then you can take that home and use it. So then you're just kind of seeing if the full size formulation is the same as the foil packaging, and then if I liked that, then I think I would go to the next step of actually purchasing it. But yeah, I just felt like it was different. I didn't enjoy it as much, which was a little disheartening because it's like, I did really, really, really like the foil package, and it's not an inexpensive product, so that was kind of a letdown. On the same theme, and I cream I do not love is the Drunk Elephant Shaba Complex Eye Serum. I already know I don't like this. I've used one of these before because I got the Littles kit. This I have because I got in a kit last winter with the vitamin C serum, and it came with the kit. There's other things I wanted to try, so I made the kit worth it, but I do not like this eye serum. I just really don't like it. I don't think it is hydrating enough. I just don't think it does enough. I don't feel like I hated it as much as I did the first time I used it, but definitely not something I would recommend. The other eye cream from Drunk Elephant, the vitamin C, like the Tango one, it has like a peachy, orangey colored cap. That one I love. I love it so much. It was so hard for me not to pick it up during the VIB sale this year just because I was like, no, there's other eye creams I want to try. Maybe I don't need to go for that one because it is so expensive, but I really like it and I feel like I get another person in the future. But the Shaba Eye Complex Serum, not for me. I think I found one of my new favorite eye creams though. Like, oh, I really like this. This is the Ulla Henriksen Banana Bright Eye Cream. I love this stuff. I think it is so incredibly hydrating. It's supposed to brighten the eye. I don't know if it really does that. I find that I have dark circles. I just need to color correct them if I want to cover it up with makeup. But I just found this so incredibly hydrating. I really enjoyed it. I already have, not another full size, but I have a sample size of it. So I really enjoyed it. It's definitely something I could see myself picking up again in the future. And it almost substitutes that Drunk Elephant one for me. Like, I still think about the Drunk Elephant one and I want to try it again, but this is like a really good replacement. It's definitely a lot more affordable and I really enjoy this one. And it's been a long time since I've finished up an eye cream and then repurchased the same one. So the fact that I even repurchased it is really great because like I love eye cream and I love testing new ones. So to actually repurchase something for me is like a pretty big deal. So definitely 100% would recommend this one. Next I have a few acne treatments. The first one is the Mario Badescu Drying Lotion. I feel like people talk about this and talk about it as like a miracle worker, and I think it works great if you have like whitehead type pimples. I have a lot of more cystic stuff under the skin, and this doesn't really do much because it is just supposed to kind of like dry out the whitehead. And I feel like when people talk about this, they're like, oh, I used it the night before and the next day it was like amazing, or maybe that's just my perception of how Mario Badescu talks about the product, but I just feel like it doesn't work that fast acting for me. Like, it's fine, and I really use it sometimes when I had those like hard to reach pimples or like they're really like whiteheads, and this, like, it works, but it's not like it's going to work right away. I wouldn't be opposed to picking up something like this in the future, whether it be the Mario Badescu one or I try another type of drying lotion would be interesting to me, but it's not something I feel like I need to have in my like anti-acne arsenal. Same kind of goes for all the acne products I just finished up. This is from Superdrug. This is the Calm Skin De-Stress Blemish Rescue Gel. And this says it targets and improves blemishes in 1 hour. It has chamomile, niacinamide, and salicylic acid. And I would definitely say that it's not the case. Anything that claims to like work fast, like within 1 hour you'll see a reduction in your pimples, like none of that ever works for me. I think Clean and Clear also has something, or they used to have something like that. I mean, I used it up, but I don't think this is anything incredible. Would not repurchase. Don't think it did what it claimed. The hour thing. It has salicylic acid, so do I think it did something? Yeah, but I don't think it's that fast-acting thing it claims to be. And then from Boots, I have this Tea Tree and Witch Hazel Spot one. So one is like the daytime side, one is the nighttime side. I completely use them both up. I like it. I think it's fine. I wouldn't go out of my way to repurchase. I finished up a few of these, and I think my skin has kind of just moved on. The blemish stick from Boots, it's like a kind of like a gel type stick, and it's Tea Tree and Witch Hazel. I much prefer that to the wand, and I've used up a number of those. I have one on that I'm using right now, and I've like gone through like maybe like 5 or 6 of those. So I much prefer that for my acne than the spot wand. Okay, so kind of just continue on with skincare. I finished up this Body Shop Drops of Youth Liquid Peel. This had like exfoliating properties. You basically it was a gel, you rubbed it on your skin and then it kind of like beat it up the dead skin. I like the concept of it. I feel like the means to take it off was so incredibly frustrating. I just had this in my Roulette Pan collab. I would not repurchase this. It's just like, you basically need another exfoliator to take it off, so why even go in with this? It's just not worth it. If they have reformulated it to make it easier to take off, then I could see the pros of it, but as is right now, the way I had this one, not something worth repurchasing. Definitely would not recommend. There are way better exfoliating products out there. I finished up these Nip and Fab Repair B Sting Fix Toning Pads. These were really great. I would cut them in half, so I got double the use of them. There's 60 pads in here, so I ended up getting 120 by cutting them in half. These are really great for traveling with because they're not a liquid, so you don't have to worry about that for your liquids bag for carry-on, so I loved having these when I traveled. So I don't think I would repurchase something like this again. I can't really find Nip and Fab like easily available to me. The reason why I picked this up is because it was on Choppers and it was like clear out, so it was like very low prices, but that means that they no longer carry it. So I really enjoyed it. Would be interested in trying out more products. When I picked that up, I also picked up the Kale Fix makeup removing pads, and I really enjoyed having these. I don't love using makeup removing pads or wipes as much anymore, just because I realize like the waste that it causes. But when you are traveling, it is kind of nice to have something like this that isn't considered a liquid that you know is going to take everything off. These are like very nicely saturated. And previous to this, I was using cotton rounds. So it's like using one of these or using a cotton round, like it's almost creating the same amount of waste. So I didn't mind that as much. I have switched to reusable cotton rounds, but I do think for like travel or for ease of use, like there isn't anything wrong with these. It's just being mindful of like the amount of waste you're creating. But I really like these. I thought they did a great job of taking off my makeup. Speaking of makeup removers, I have had this for so long. This is the Bioderma Micellar Moisturizing Makeup Removing Micellar Solution. Anyways, yeah, finished it up. It's the blue lid. It's for dehydrated, sensitive skin. I think this does a great job of taking off makeup, eye makeup. Someone gifted this to me, which was like really, really nice. So I know it's more a bit of an expensive product. This little bottle actually lasted me so long. I think it's because I like went through phases of using it, and not just because I knew it was a gift and it is a bit more expensive, but I really, really enjoyed it. I think it did a great job of taking off my eye makeup without irritating my eyes, and I would be interested in trying something like repurchasing this again in the future if I can find it on a good deal. Next, I have a few toners. This first one is from Clinique. This is the Clarifying Lotion 3. This is for combination oily skin, and I really like this one. This is a toner I come back to time and time again. I had a bunch of many of these. I've used full sizes a few times. I really like this toner. I think it does a great job of clarifying the skin. Another toner I finished up that I wasn't as big a fan of, this is from Vitamin C Beauty. This is the Sea Buckthorn Rose. It claims it is alcohol free. It's a facial toner mist, hydrating, removes impurities, clarifies collection. It does come with a sprayer, but I didn't use it as a mist. I ended up decanting it into another container so I could just use it on a cotton round. Even though it claims to be alcohol free, there is alcohol in the ingredients, so I'm not quite sure what that is about. I picked it up at Marshall's. It was fine, not something that I would repurchase. I was like so happy when I finally finished it. So have you tried the Vitamin C Beauty products? Like, what do you guys think of them? Because I really was not such a fan. This next product I also picked up at Marshall's. This is the L'Oreal Hydra Genius. I really, really love this moisturizer. It's a gel moisturizer, but so if you have oily skin, it gives you the hydration you need without feeling like so heavy on your skin. I really, really like it. I've gone through like 2 or 3 of these. I have another one. Like, I really, really enjoy this product. So definitely a repurchase for me. I wasn't quite sure what this was. I wasn't sure if it was a makeup remover or if it was a cleanser. This is the Darphine and Intral Cleansing Milk with Chamomile, and I pretty much just use this up in the shower. It is very milky consistency. It doesn't suds up like I enjoy soaps to do. I thought it did fine. It isn't something that I repurchased. I got it as like a free sample. Yeah, I'm not sure if I even used it correctly. I used it as a cleanser in the shower like I said, but I wasn't sure if like milk, if it was supposed to be more like a cleansing cream. So yeah, I didn't understand it. Not my favorite. I tried to look up it online. Like I don't get it. And like I talked about earlier, cotton rounds and makeup wipes. I did used to be really into cotton rounds, and the Primark ones were my favorite. I do have these finished up. I do still have more cotton rounds in my collection, and I think they're something that I will always continue to buy, even though I do have reusable ones now, but just not buy them at the same rate or go through them at the same rate as I was before. For nail polish, I still prefer using that to reusable ones. When I'm traveling, sometimes it's hard with the reusable ones if you're not sure like when you're going to wash them, or if you need to like kind of not have as many things on you. So I think they do still have their time and their place. It's just I think it's all about making small changes to make those differences. I've used up one. I do still have more in my collection. You will see them in Empties in the future, just not at the rate at what that they once were. That being said, I also do have makeup wipes. These are sensitive micellar cleansing wipes from Superdrug. I really enjoy these, especially because they do have this little lid so that they can close shut, because these were open for close to a year. I had these because, again, for travel purposes, I think it's really great if you can't take the whole liquid because you have restrictions when it comes to that. If you can't take certain things, it's really nice to have these kinds of cleansing wipes. And to me, like, it's more important to me to be like taking care of my skin, taking my makeup off, and maybe creating a little bit more waste than I would otherwise, than just not to do anything, because that's just, it's not good for me. And so these were open for about a year, which is why I love that they had this. I would say maybe like the last little bit, the last 1 or 2 were dried out, but it actually did such a great job. And these are like the only makeup wipes that I've used in all of 2019. I almost said 2018. In all of 2019. So I feel pretty good about that. For vitamin C serums, this is the Drunk Elephant C Firm a Day Serum. I really enjoy this. I think it did a decent job, but I honestly prefer the Ole Henriksen True Serum, and it is like a fraction of the cost. So I have tried this out. I really enjoyed it, which prompted me to buy the full size, but I just can't see myself justifying that again after trying the Ole Henriksen True Serum. I just feel like that works so much better, or basically equivalent. I think it works a little bit better personally, so I just don't see myself repurchasing this. Some other Drunk Elephant products I have, because I purchased that last year, it came as a set, so I got some minis like the eye cream I just told you about, but this is also the Be Hydra Intensive Hydration Serum. Again, not something I love, feel like I need, just because I had it, I used it. And then we have the Virgin Marula Luxury Facial Oil. This one I think is really, really amazing. It does such a nice job, and I love having it in my collection, but it's not something that I would ever repurchase. I feel like The Ordinary has a lot of oils. They have a Marula one, they have the rosehip one, which I really love, so I just see myself purchasing oils at like a much cheaper cost. There's no need to go out and get the Drunk Elephant one. Some other facial creams that I finished up. This is from Superdrug. This is the Tea Tree Facial Moisturizer. I really, really like this. I had been like waiting to use it because this is the full size. It's only 30 mils. It's very small, but I really, really enjoy it. I love the tea tree. I feel like it does something to help the acne. I don't know if I love it as much as I once did, but I really do enjoy this product, and I can't really purchase it, but if I could, I feel like I would pick up another one. This is from Ulla Henriksen. This is the Counterbalance Oil Control Hydrator, and again, this is like something I cut open because I loved it so much. I wanted to get every little bit out, and I really like this. I think I'm going to end up buying a set in like the Oil Control Balance line. I'm using like the cleanser right now, and I really, really enjoy it. So this whole line seems to be doing really great things for my skin, so I really enjoyed this. Also from Ulla Henriksen, I have the Sheer Transformation Perfecting Moisturizer. This is just a standard moisturizer to me. I don't think it's anything special. I like getting little samples of it, but it's not something that I feel the need to go out and purchase. And then my last facial cream right here is from Josie Moran. This is the Whipped Argan Oil Face Butter. I thought it did a fine job, nothing that I thought was really amazing or to my skin. Don't feel the need to repurchase it or look more into it. Okay, we are almost there, which is good because my voice is really starting to hurt. So moving on to makeup. Well, more precisely, starting off with perfume samples. If you want to hear more in-depth thoughts on these, I did a whole perfume sample project, so I'll link that down below. But just to quickly tell you about them, this is Prada Candy, would repurchase. This is Juicy Couture Vive Villa Juicy, would try again. This is Guerlain's Mon Guerlain. This is like one of my favorite scents. And this is Atelier Cologne Bergamot Soleil, not worth repurchasing. Next, I have some makeup samples. I have two of the Born This Way foundation. One was way too dark. I had to use the bronzer. One I was able to mix in with a few other things. I didn't really love it. I never got to try a shade that worked great for me, so I couldn't really try it on its own, but it just really didn't feel like my type of foundation. Something I did love was the Bite Beauty lip mask. I had two of them. One was in champagne, one was more like a pinky type shade, but I love these. I thought they did such a great job moisturizing the lips. This is something I wear at night, so I'm not really sure why there's like champagne and colors and those types of things, but I have another little sample pack of these, and I was able to get like maybe 3 or 4 uses out of each one, so I feel like a little bit definitely goes a long way, which is really great if you are going to invest in it. You know, it's something that is going to last you quite a while. I'm happy that I have more samples to use up. This was a Stila Shimmer and Glow. I believe it was Grace, I want to say. I'm not 100% sure of the shade. It was really, really beautiful. Definitely something you want to use up right away. It did dry up a bit, so using like a sponge tip applicator was a great way to apply it. I really enjoyed this shade. And I had this little sample from Buxom. It was one of their plumping lip glosses. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but I really enjoyed it. I have a few more samples that I've yet to open, but definitely will. And I had never tried the Buxom lip gloss formula before, so it was really exciting to get the opportunity to do that. The remainder of these makeup empties, a lot of them come from projects, so if you've been following with the hashtag Roulette Pan Collab that I participate in, or if you've been following with my year-long project pan, a lot of these might look familiar to you. Some of them may not though. So I finished up this little Anastasia Brow Wiz. This was in the shade Dark Brown. It did a decent enough job. I like the Brow Wiz, but the spoolie broke. The spoolie always breaks, like whether it's this tiny little sample size or the actual one. I feel like the spoolie always breaks, so that really deters me from buying more of them. I had the Becca Hydra Mist Powder, and unfortunately, by the time I got to it, it had lost its Hydra misting qualities, so I never got to check, like, enjoy that cooling effect or test it out, which is really frustrating me. I got this as a sample, and I started using it maybe like 3-4 months after I received it, and by then, like, I had never even opened it, and already that sensation was gone. I've heard a lot of people say that it does tend to go away, and I feel like I flew through this powder, which is another comment I've heard a lot of people say. So for me, it just doesn't seem like it's worth it. These next few products are from my 2019 project pan, so I'm not going to go into too much depth on them. This is the MUA Pro Base Prime and Conceal Correcting Cream in Peach. Love the shade, would repurchase. That's just not readily available to me, unfortunately. I have 2 of the Rimmel Lasting Finish 25 Hour with Comfort Serum Foundations. This was 100 Ivory, 10 Light Porcelain. A little too dark, a little too light. Mixing together, turned out pretty decent. They do sell a shade in between, but I already had this one. and then I bought this one, so I wasn't gonna buy a third one. I like the foundation. I don't feel like I loved it enough to repurchase it, but I'm glad, like, I did enjoy it while I had it. The Essence Eye Heart Color Intensifying Eyeshadow Base. It was a decent eyeshadow base. I have others, so I don't feel the need to go out and repurchase this one at the time. But if I finish up all those others, I mean, I think it does a great job for the price point. Really did enjoy it. I had this My Bordesco facial spray with aloe, herbs, and rose water. I think this does a good job of kind of melding things together because if you are spraying stuff on your face, so if you use a lot of powders, this works. I don't think it does anything for the longevity of my makeup. I tried using it as a toner sometimes. It was fine just as the facial spray to rehydrate. Like, I don't think, it doesn't really have a place in my collection. I don't feel like I need it. Benefit Professional Do Not Enjoy. It took me so long to finish up this product, but I did end up like cutting it open because I was like, I will get every last bit out of there. This took me like 8 months to finish. I did not enjoy it. A little bit goes a long way, and if you like a pore filling primer, this might be the one for you. I just feel like it can feel kind of oily on the skin. It's just not my thing. I do have this plumper and primer from e.l.f. I actually didn't end up using the primer side. I just felt like it made my lips look concealery. It just looked thick. It didn't make my lip products look good. I'm not going to use a product that makes my lips not look good. Like, what's the point of that? However, I did finish up the primer side. This is fully rolled up and it is flush with the packaging. It kind of tastes like rubbing cinnamon hearts on your lips. So it had more like a cinnamon plumping effect. I thought it did a decent enough job, but I wouldn't repurchase it. I don't feel like it's something I need. And then I also finished this Clinique Melon Pop. It was a sample size, but it was like huge. This is just plastic, so if you put that down, it is like completely flush with the packaging. And it was a primer plus color, which is what, this is the product that got me interested in lip primers because I feel like it did such a nice job of kind of like filling in the lines on my lips, making everything look nice and smooth. It was a bit older, so it didn't quite have, it wasn't as nice as when I first originally purchased it. I don't feel the need to get something like this again, but it did introduce me to lip primers, which is something I don't use all the time, but is something that I can appreciate. Oh, I finished this quite a while ago. This is also from that project. This is the ColourPop Supernova Shadow Running in Orbits. I really liked it, but it looks like ColourPop has discontinued all of their Supernova shadows, which is really disappointing. I really liked it, but I guess maybe liquid shadows aren't really a thing and really have their jelly shadows now. I like liquid shadows. I'm not sure if I would necessarily repurchase this exact same shade. I do have a lot more in my collection, so I'm happy that I have more to go through. I have this Haircare Nivea lip balm. I think it did a decent enough job. Would purchase it again. This lip gloss from One Direction. It came in a One Direction kit. I did not love it. I am so happy it's finished. I just finished this up in my #Lip Pan collab. This was a product I was like considering decluttering, so I'm happy that I was able to use it and not just throw it away, but definitely nothing special. I finished up this NYX HD finishing powder. This was in the shade Banana. I started using it under my eyes. It was fine. It does look a bit creepy at times. It does a great job of actually making everything adhere to the skin. So sometimes at the end of the day, like my foundation would be going, but my under eyes would still be going strong because of this powder. So I think it does have a time and place. I wouldn't necessarily repurchase it though. I just felt like there's a bit too much for the under eye, and because it's the banana shade, I didn't really want to use it all over my face. I had this Maybelline Baby Lips lip balm. It was in the shade like taupe or something. I started to dig into it a bit. It's really not worth it. It's very glossy. The shade was like such a nude. It looked so weird. I ended up just using this as a lip balm at night, which is how I was able to get through it. And I picked that up because it was like on super sale, but I definitely did not need it and would not repurchase it. I have two mascaras. This first one is from IT Cosmetics. This is their tight line. So it's like this thin little wand. It's for your lower lash line. They say you can tight line with it or use it as a mascara primer. I ended up using this up as a mascara primer and my lower lash line. I used it because I had it, but I don't feel like I really need something like this in my collection. I did a full face of makeup samples. If you're interested in that, I will link it down below. And this was the mascara I used in that. This was the Buxom Big T's Plumping Mascara. And this did such a beautiful job. I love the wand of it. It does such a good job of like just luminizing your lashes. They look so big and dramatic. This was basically finish it up, but then I also did drop this on the floor and then I did not want to put it back in and put it near my eye. I would say like it maybe had 2 uses left anyways, like it basically is done. So I really enjoyed this. The first high-end mascara I ever bought was a Buxom mascara. I know everyone talks about their lip glosses, but I feel like people are sleeping on their mascaras. I think they're so beautiful. And the last product I have is, oh, where did I pick this up? I want to say Superdrug. This is the Botanical Lab Witch Hazel Shine Control Facial Mist, and it's supposed to help balance sebum and calm blemish prone skin. I'm not sure it really did that. I ended up using this as a spray for my makeup because of the shine control factor, and I feel like it did help with that. there were so many layers between my skin and this that I'm not sure it really did anything for my blemishes, which is not really its fault. It's kind of the application method I chose to use for it. I feel like it could, maybe I should have just used it straight on my skin, but I don't love using facial sprays that way. They do say that you can spray it onto face and neck after moisturizing on the go or post makeup application, so that is how I chose to use it. I really liked it. I thought it did a good job of kind of melding everything together, which is all I really want from a facial spray. So this is the final number of all the products I used in 2019. I have a rough estimate, not exactly sure what the number is, so we're kind of finding out together, but I do know for a fact that it is not 400. So like I said, I think that was quite a lofty goal. Did not expect to actually hit it quite early on. I realized like that was a lot. But I'm really happy that I was able to share all my empties with you. This definitely really motivated me to go through products, really touch on my samples, because that was something that I had neglected for quite a long time. So I really enjoyed this project, and I hope you guys did too. And I think this is like the perfect video to wrap up 2019. I still have a few more videos. I'm going to do all my makeup empties and kind of show you the valuation of that. So if you're interested, then make sure you subscribe. And I'm going to talk about my makeup goals for 2019 I still need to do, and my makeup goals for 2020. So I do still have a few more wrap-up videos, even though this is the end of 2019. I'm not quite done with it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are. Bye!